All right, so if you want to go ahead and introduce who you have with us today.
Okay, this is Lola. That's Rex. She's a quarter horse, and she's either 13 or 14, I can't remember which one. She's registered in the AQHA. And then Rex is 15, and he's grade. We're not really sure what he is.
In terms
Lola's used for barrels. Rex is just kind of a trail riding horse.
And for people that aren't familiar with barrels, what's the goal?
The fastest time, so she's used for speed events.
Speed events. And what about like color, as people look at horse color?
She's a chestnut, and Rex is a buckskin paint, dun paint, that one. Yeah, that's what they call it.
How about any special markings that people might...
She has a pastern mark on her hind left leg, and then Rex has 2 socks, and then the paint mark in there and one on the other side.
All right.
I guess Rex is behind Lola. Yeah.
All right, well, very good. One of the pieces too, anything in terms of history on health, like have they had any issues that have been significant on either of these?
Not that I know. We just got her last year, but I don't think she's had anything. And then the only thing he's ever had like special was that he had to get his teeth floated because they were really sharp.
Okay.
And then, yeah, that's about it.
In terms of like this year, what for people that wonder about health care, what a program might include?
So they get their yearly shots, which is one's for, what are their shots that they get? The EIA, which is equine infectious anemia, they get tested for that. And then they get a strangles vaccine, which goes up their nose, and then they get their blood drawn to test for EIA. And then they get 2 shots in the neck. I can't remember what exactly they are. I think it's for like Western Nile virus and stuff like that can be transmitted by mosquitoes.
How about parasite control? Anything?
We deworm them usually 3 times a year or 4 times. It just depends what time we get that time. And then it's just a paste that you put into their mouth with the hearing.
All right. Very good. And how about foot care?
Oh, they get, the farrier comes every 6 weeks, and then she's the only one that actually gets shoes on her hooves. I can show you what they are.
Sure.
I haven't cleaned them yet today, but they have extra right here compared to normal shoes because she's flat-footed, so it takes pressure off of her toes.
Awesome. And right now we can see what they're eating. How about when they're not sitting on someone's lawn?
Well, they're pastured, so all summer they only eat grass, and then in the winter we give them hay because the grass stops growing as much, and then they get grain, just like a sweet feed, molasses sweet feed in the winter, just to give them more energy so that they stay warmer.
So I know like in this class later we'll talk about like cattle and dairy cattle. You'll want to feed them a really good hay. Do you feed the same high quality alfalfa hay to these horses?
We usually get just grass hay, and then it usually has some alfalfa mixed in just from the fields, but...
Because if you did feed them alfalfa hay, what do you think is going to happen?
They get obese and then they can founder.
Yep, so too much. Okay, so one of the other pieces we're looking at is maybe we got these tools here. We got this, try to figure out how tall a horse is. So one of the things, as we look at this stick, I'm just going to show people that aren't here. Megan, can you kind of tip it a little bit? There's a little bubble up there. If we tip it towards Morgan, you see that the bubble moves. Okay, so we want the bubble right in the middle. So you want to come over and we'll see how tall. This one? Yeah. So this kind of goes with the parts. Where should you measure the height here?
Top of the withers.
Top of the withers. So there's a part. Okay. And then you'll just want to, it doesn't move very easy. You got to kind of slide it down with some force and then see how that works. Is that too tall?
Yeah.
and then if it is, you got to just slide it up, and I'm going to come to the other side so maybe we can see what the stick looks like. Again, as you can see, this is probably not something she's real used to and comfortable with. So I'm just going to stay back, and then you can bring the stick here and we can look a close up at the stick. Do you think you got close?
Yeah.
Okay. Does this sound, so now, Mart, can you read what would this be? So down here we have what's that big number on the right side?
14.
14. And then we go up each mark. So there's 14 and 1, 2, 3, and
Which is about 15. 14.4, 15.
Yep. So 14 and then 3 and a little bit more, almost 15. So is that what you would have thought?
Yeah, around 15.
Yeah. So, and again, part of this is, I think you had it nice and horizontal, so that's all good. So one of the other pieces on the lab sheet is a estimate on the weight. And we have, now first, what do you think she weighs?
She's probably around 1,200. That's just how we kind of guess all of our horses, but she's more muscular than most of ours, so she might be closer to 1,500.
Okay. Down there, Megan, there's a tape. Have you used the tape on her before?
I've taken some to her, yeah.
Okay.
She should be fine with it.
So if you come back over here again, and again, you're going to go around and try to wrap it around the horse. And maybe Morgan, you can grab the other side.
Yeah, I'll go to this.
One side measures height.